All right, y'all. Today we're taking a look at this boudoir photography business. Gonna see for these two Google searches, one local and one city level. If either or both of them have BSS. So we're back here in the GBC universe. We're taking declining boudoir photographers to the #1 boudoir photographer in their city. As always, our North Star is FSIC, full spectrum intent capture. More on that, pinned video, pinned post, somewhere around here. And that's because FSIC explains why all boudoir photographers either rise or fall. You can see FSIC in white, our graph here. Over to the left, we got the highest intent peeps. These are the peeps searching for, boudoir photo shoot in their city right now, today. And they're searching social search and Google search. So we focus on these peeps in our videos here about BSS. Peeps are closest to the money, highest converting peeps. Over on the right, we got the lowest intent peeps. We talk about those at our sister brand, Boudoir FB Ad Doctor. We talk about BLCS, reaching those lowest intent peeps. And currently we're only working with boudoir photographers running more than 10 grand a month in boudoir Facebook ads. Now BSS, boudoir search sameness. That is when a boudoir photographer has either 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google. 0 slots, our business is basically dead because we know that approximately 80% of Google searches never even hit page 2. 80% of Google searches are page 1 and done searches. So that is, approximately 80% of the market. That's basically the bulk of the market, basically everyone, basically all buyers. And so 0 is no bueno. 1 slot in page 1 Google is also no bueno because that actually means we're literally looking the same as everyone else because there's 10 slots page 1 on Google. There's literally going to be 10 other, or actually 9 other peeps with 1 slot page 1 on Google. And as a result, we're blending in. We're basically invisible. We're looking the same. What the boudoir buyer going to do? They're going to click through every they're literally going to click through every person on page 1, open their website, submit a contact form, get a quote, price shop, negotiate, and kills all the margins, decreases the probability that they buy at any, boudoir photographer makes any profit at all if they even get that client. So 1 slot, no bueno either. Now 0-1 slots on page 1 Google is actually not normal. It is the symptom of 2 deeper root causes. And those 2 deeper root causes are market saturation and the false belief of page 1 equality. Market saturation, basically everyone knows this. Over time people get new iPhones, new cameras. It's kind of naturally there, they throw up the Google My Business profile saying they now offer boudoir. Throw up their website saying they do boudoir photography. They throw up their well, they're also then posting the mom Facebook group saying they do boudoir photo shoots. This kind of naturally happens over time. Big flood happened during COVID. Lots of people lost their jobs. Still had to earn money though. Everyone's got a super powered smartphone with super camera. So pretty natural for people would become tons of new peeps to become boudoir photographers in that time. Now the false belief of page 1 equality, not many people know about this one. This is where kind of boudoir photographers have always kind of assumed and accepted that every boudoir photographer gets either 0 or 1 slots page 1 on Google. But this is actually not correct. What actually is true is that Google will give us as many page 1 slots on as we want to put in the effort to acquire. And I know this because I went from 0 out of 10 slots page 1 on Google search to 9 out of 10 slots page 1 on Google search in only 10 days using our new methodology we developed. So I know just kind of accepting wherever Google places, our website, it's incorrect. Maybe we're on slot 7 page 1, some market saturation happened, then we're on slot 1 page 2. Boudoir photographers naturally would be like, well, I hope someone deletes their website on page 1 so I can actually get back on there and hopefully Google re-ranks me there. But no, now we know we can actually take as many page 1 slots as we want. Next, a boudoir photographer with BSS boudoir search sameness is a disappearing boudoir photographer, a DBP. And disappearing because, if their business they got 0 slots page 1, so they're on page 2 or deeper. Yeah, they're disappearing because they're already invisible to approximately 80% of the market. If they got only 1 slot page 1 on Google, yeah, they're still basically invisible. They're being price shopped to death. They're dying. They're still dying a slower death than 0 slots. But in both cases, it's kind of like the warning light, kind of like the red flag, the canary in the coal mine telling us that our boudoir photography business itself is now on the path to disappearing. But thankfully, we now have a solution. We've discovered that BSS is treated with social search saturation, aka SQ methodology. We know this because we invented it. And it works exactly as it says, social search saturation. We're saturating social search, the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords, making sure we show up there. Doing this is kind of like putting snow at the top of the Andes Mountains down in South America, down on the backside, the eastern side of those mountains. When that snow melts, what happens is it forms into small streams, small rivers, and then it all flows into the large Amazon River. And that large Amazon River is page one on Google. But it all starts with actually getting the snow to the top of the mountain, and that is SQ methodology, social search saturation. And what's special about this is it's the only solution I've seen for boudoir photographers that actually can enable their business to still grow even in the face of massive market saturation and gives them that opportunity in a relatively quick time frame. The only other option I've seen that offers a similar benefit is having a large, well-known brand. But dude, that takes 5 to 10 years to acquire. We ain't got 5 to 10 years. AI's here, taking people's jobs. Gonna be a flood of boudoir photographers coming into the market, and we're deciding to prepare ourselves now. And by my estimates, SQ methodology can actually help build a large, well-known brand in a city approximately 8x faster than normal methods. It's because we're showing up on so many more surfaces, so much more frequently. That's kind of a byproduct. And then imagine you've got the large, well-known brand, and you continue to use SQ methodology. I mean, you're basically unbeatable at that point. So an example right now, we are now going to, let's see, I've decided I want to go to, oh, there we go, Topeka, Kansas. So we're in Topeka, Kansas. There are 1 million boudoir photographers. We are one of them. Everyone's got their website saying they shoot boudoir photography. So it's ultra competitive. Get page one on Google. So we're not invisible, so we're not disappearing. And as a result, man, we don't have a large, well-known brand. Literally the only chance for us to compete was we now have a solution for it, SQ methodology. So like, all right, we're going to take this technology, we're going to crank it to the max. And let's say we take up the first 300 slots on social search across, all the surfaces for the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords in our city. As a result, that flows down the mountain into the Amazon River, that flows down onto page one Google search. And when that happens, we are actually taking those first 300 slots, page one Google search. Let's say we got that as well. So basically anywhere any boudoir buyer searches, we're ranking for all those keywords across all these surfaces, and we're basically the only boudoir photographer our buyers can find. They essentially can't even find our competitors. They basically got page 31 because we're taking the first 30 pages on Google. I mean, who's going to page 31? Nobody. So in this scenario, whose boudoir photography business is growing? Most likely ours. Whose boudoir photography business is declining, disappearing, going poof? Basically the other 999,999 other boudoir photographers. And this is an ultra extreme example of what the SQ methodology could enable. Actually taking it to the max, kind of ultra max version of it. Next, once treated with SQ methodology, we now have page one visibility, P1V. And so obviously we get the initial benefits, more slots page one on Google. We also get this new second initial benefit, which a lot of boudoir photographers like the best. It's every new slot we get on page one on Google, we are actually our competing boudoir photographers off page one, put them on page two or deeper, effectively making them invisible. Because remember, approximately 80% of Google searches never even hit page two. They're page one and done searches. So a lot of boudoir photographers like this initial benefit as well. Now, page one visibility activates boudoir search visibility for us. So we have the GBC universe recommends a minimum of 3 out of 10 slots page one Google search. That's because if everyone else has one slot each and we got 3 slots, well, we're dominating them. And if the ultra rare chance someone has 2 slots, we still got 3 slots, we're still dominating them. So we're basically dominating everyone in all scenarios if we get to a minimum of 3 out of 10. Obviously, higher is better. We also know that boudoir photographer with BSV is a visible boudoir photographer, a VBP. So it's our micro universe here. Got a disappearing boudoir photographer with BSS, boudoir search sameness. It's caused by the dual horns of market saturation and the false belief of page one equality. That's fine. We now have the solution, S cubed methodology. We achieve page one visibility. We become a visible boudoir photographer with boudoir search visibility. All right, now my results utilizing SQ methodology. I wanted to dominate Google page one for this keyword, BLCS boudoir. So I use SQ methodology to see my results. Organic slot 1, Instagram, me. Slot 2, me. Slot 3, me. Slot 4, me. Slot 5, me. Slot 6, me. Slot 7, me. Slot 8, me. Slot 10, me. So I went from 0 out of 10 slots page 1 Google search to 9 out of 10 slots page 1 Google search in only 10 days. So people searching this keyword, who are they clicking on? Obviously me. All right, so now we're going to look at the main event here. Going to see if this boudoir photography business has BSS for its local search, Boudoir, California, and its city search, Temecula, California. All right, let's check this out. All right, so first searching Boudoir. So here we go. All right, we got 1. Boom, we got 2. Boom, we got 3. Boom, we got 4. Boom, we got 5. All right, we got 6. 7. Sponsor, that doesn't count. That doesn't count for 10, so awesome. 7 out of 10. This is what we got. This is what we need. How many competitors did they kick off? Up to 6. They ain't being price shopped against no one, or very, very few. They ain't being price shopped against 9, because we already know approximately 80% of Google searches ain't never going to page 2. So 7 out of 10, fantastic. Now we'll look at our city. Close one, there's some Lake Elsinore or something, but I chose Temecula to do the city search, bigger city. So let's see. Let's see how we're ranking here, pulling in people from Temecula. All right. All right, we got 0 in Temecula. So it looks like we're actually we're missing pulling people in from Temecula. So we do got BSS. So we don't have BSS for the local search. That's good. And we also hit the GBC minimum 3 out of 10 for local search, perfect. But we definitely do have BSS for the city search, or 0 out of 10 slots there. And we definitely did not hit the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 slots for the city search. So if you're a disappearing boudoir photographer, meaning you've actually done your local searches, your city searches for the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords in your city, and you have seen you got BSS for at least one of those searches, or you're not hitting the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 slots page 1 Google search for at least one of those searches, and you've accepted that the false belief of page 1 equality is exactly that, a false belief. So like, man, yeah, we actually can take as many page 1 slots on Google as we want. And so you kind of broke through the mental barrier, and you're seeing, wow, SQ methodology, that's the solution I need. That's what I've been waiting for. It's a solution for me. And you're liking the initial benefits, yeah, more slots for you, page 1 Google search, and then obviously you also like kicking your competing with photographers off page 1, effectively rendering them invisible to approximately 80% of the market, or approximately 80% of buyers. That's a good strategic move. And you understand market saturation, yeah, more peeps become boudoir photographers over time, and it's because people upgrade their gear. But you're also remembering back in COVID, what happened? A lot of people lost their jobs. A lot of people still need to earn money. Everyone's got a superpowered smartphone with an ultra camera. So a ton of new boudoir photographers enter the market. Increased supply, more sellers for the same number of buyers, harder for every single seller. And now you're seeing AI taking more people's jobs. And you're actually seeing that more peeps will, AI's only simply going to get better and better over time. We're going to take more and more people's jobs over time. So like, people upgrading their gear, come boudoir photographers, and people, on top of that, way more people actually losing their jobs due to AI. Going to be coming in being boudoir photographers on top of all that, the people upgrading their gear. So you're realizing it's not just simply about getting page 1 links and kicking competitors off page 1. You actually need to fortify your position. Like literally have page 1 backup links where you got so many links that you've already taken up basically all the slots you can on page 1, that all the other links that could be ranking on page 1, Google actually puts them, page 2, page 3, page 4, kind of like backlog of links that are page 1 worthy. So then you can essentially prevent all current boudoir photographer competitors from ever ranking on page 1, and also essentially prevent all the future boudoir photographers from ever future boudoir photographers that actually come through AI taking their job from ever ranking on page 1. So you understand you got to fortify your position, like fortifying the levees down in Nolens, Louisiana, because that city's actually below sea level, so they got to fortify the levees against the ocean. And you're saying, okay, how do we get all these links? And you're saying, okay, SQ methodology, got it. That's fortification. That's a benefit SQ methodology gives as well. And you want to achieve page one visibility in order to become a visible boudoir photographer, to achieve boudoir search visibility, because you need these things on your path to becoming the #1 boudoir photographer in your city. And you are also understanding kind of the future benefits of SQ methodology, where all these all the social search saturation we're doing for the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords. You're understanding that we're basically building like these invisible thematic keyword columns, plugging them into your brand, your business name, your website name, your personal name, your social media handles. And every day we build these up by successfully executing SQ methodology. We're actually increasing the probability in two places that we show up in two places. The first one here, AI overview, most premium placement in Google search, #1 organic slot here. Cannot buy this with ads. And we're also increasing the probability of being shown in AI search apps. ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, Microsoft Copilot, Google Gemini, increasing the probability showing up there every day. And that's important because AI search is growing every day while Google standard search is declining every single day. And you know that AI search is important. So these two benefits, AI overview, AI search, SQ methodology gives these, because it's exactly what we're doing, building the invisible thematic keywords columns. It's kind of like back-end AI keyword mindshare. That's kind of momentum. That's exactly what it is. So every day we do it. Success of SQ methodology, we're increasing the probability of showing up here. And I remember the last time I searched for boudoir photographers in a city with an AI app, was with ChatGPT. It gave me 3, but I went to then look manually, Google standard search, Facebook search, and dude, there's like 60. It's like, man, we gotta get in on these AI slots any way possible. And that's SQ methodology is the greatest, best way that I've ever seen that enables the highest probability for a boudoir photographer to achieve that. And you also like future benefits, yeah, can help build a brand approximately 8x faster than standard methods. And you also understand that my current plan is to only work with one boudoir photographer per city. And so you like getting all these benefits, and also you like being able to prevent your competitors from getting these benefits, so you can actually build up massive link war chest, link ranking, and link kind of back-end AI keyword mindshare momentum. Massive gap between you and your competitors to basically make it so that that gap can be made so big that basically nobody can, no current competitor could essentially catch you, and no future competitor that actually comes from AI taking a job that basically ever catch you. You also, and that's why you decided to be first mover, because you want all these benefits and to prevent your competitors from getting all these benefits. You let that gap, because you understand the converse. The converse is actually that one of your competitors in your city signs on me first. We're putting their links, page 1 Google search. You're getting pushed off. You're on page 2 or 3 or somewhere deeper and visible to approximately 80% of the market or more. We're fortifying their page 1 links in Google search so that essentially you'll never be able to rank on page 1 again as long as we keep executing. We're building out the back-end AI keyword mindshare momentum, and make it a super large gap between your competitor and you. And you're realizing to compete, you'd actually have to rederive SQ methodology, which, well, derive it for the first time, and you would never actually know if you've derived it correctly. 100%, you'd never be 100% confident you've derived it correctly. And then you'd have to go execute it every single day, same as us. But if you did both those things, the gap me and your competitor have already have ahead of you, it would be the same distance. You'd be maintaining the size of that gap. So to make any headway, close that gap, you'd actually have to outwork us like 2 to 3x every single day. And if you did that, well, then first of all, you wouldn't be 100% confident you've derived the strategy correctly. So it'd be hard to even put in 2 to 3x the time every single day. And then you'd be sitting there like, well, screw this. Who's got 80 hours to do all this stuff, all this work every single day? So if that's you, shoot us a DM. Our DMs are currently closed right now. The hospital is currently closed to new patients. But when the hospital does open for new patients, shoot us a DM and we will see if you qualify for utilizing our S cubed methodology.